Hello everybody and welcome back to VetMap. I'm really glad you're here, and today we'll be talking about the digestive system again, and we'll discuss tongue but by species. First, let's talk about the bovine tongue. As you can see, somebody's very excited to learn today. I hope you are too. So, cow's tongue is rather thick. It's also pigmented with a tapered apex. Now, the frenulum of the tongue is double and wide. The double means that it's connected to the bottom of the mouth by two strings. And there's also some main features how you can differentiate the bovine tongue from others in, let's say, your anatomy labs or just in general. So first, it has a torus linguae, which is like a mountain on top of the dorsum of the tongue, which would be right here. And next to that mountain is fossa linguae, so like a hole beside it. So think of it as a mountain and a lake next to that mountain. Now you can think about the tongue anatomy, which we talked about in the last video. So think about it real quick. And here we have the body of the tongue. Do you know where the apex would be? Yes, you're right. It's right here. And then where's the root of the tongue? It's right here. And the frenulum of the tongue would be attached right here. And a little bit of the side view where the frenulum actually attaches, so it would be right here. So we have the base of the tongue, or the ventral side of the tongue, and then the bottom of the mouth. Okay, now we have to figure out what kind of papilla the tongue of the bovines has. So there's quite a few, and if you want to know more about them, definitely check out the video in the description below. So first we have the fungiform papilla, we have the valid papillae, filiform, and conical. Now this is where all of them are. You can stop the video if you want to. I'm not gonna stop here, but what you need to know is just what types of papilla bovine tongue has. Definitely check out that video. Next up we have the equine tongue, a beautiful little horsey right here. So equine tongue is also thick, and the dorsum of the tongue is elevated. Now, like the bovine tongue had the torus, like a mountain of a horse, all of the dorsum of the tongue is elevated, and the apex is tapered. Now, the frenulum of the horse's tongue is single here. And the main differential feature is that tongue dorsum cartilage, or cartilago dorsilingue. So basically, horse's tongue has an additional cartilage inside of it. Okay, so equine tongue also has different types of papillae. So first, there's the fungiform, which are located on the side of the tongue. Then we have the filiform papilla, which are also located on the side, but they are on that elevated dorsum of the tongue. Then we have the valate papilla. They are right here, closer to the root of the tongue there, and there's usually only two of them. And we also have the foliate papillae, which are on the very, very side of the root of the tongue. Let's also discuss the specialities of the pig's tongue. So pig's tongue, rather than horses or cow's tongue, is way thinner. Also, apex is long and narrow, as you can see here in the picture. The apex is here. And also, the dorsum is low with just a slight rise in the middle. So you would have like a mountain range on top of the dorsum of the tongue, basically in the middle. So while the tongue is thin, we have this like little elevation, but not like on the bovines or equine's tongue. We don't have a whole raised dorsum, just this little part right here. And the frenulum of the tongue is double. So both bovines and pigs have a double frenulum. And again, anatomy for you, just 3 parts: root, body, and the apex of the tongue. There's also a few types of papillae on the tongue. So first we have the filiform papillae, which are located here. Then we have the fungiform papillae, which are located here. Then the velate papillae, which are more or less in the same location as horses would be, but there are more of them. And the foliate papillae are not seen here, but they're also on the tongue. They're also located more or less in the same place as the horses, so they would be on the roots of the tongue on the sides there. Now let's talk about the canine's tongue. So canine tongue is thin, very thin, compared to horses or pigs or cow's tongue, not because of its size, but it's of its like muscular properties. So it's also wide. It has sharp edges, like horses or pigs wouldn't have. And the dorsum of the tongue has a little sulcus, so like a river on top of the tongue. And the frenulum is also single, just like horses would be. So, and the main differential features are the middle tongue sulcus, or sulcus medianus linguae, and then a capsule of fat on the ventral side of the apex, which is called lissa. So basically we have the sulcus, that little river on the top of the dorsum, and then that little capsule of fat on the ventral side of the apex of the tongue. Ants also have different types of papillae on their tongue. So there's filiform, fungiform, velate, and foliate. So basically all the same as the pigs would be. And there's really nothing special about them, just their properties are different. So definitely check out the first video of the tongue anatomy to know more about this. Last but certainly not least, we have feline tongue or cat's tongue. So it's also thin and wide, just like dogs would be, but the main feature why it is different is because the dorsum of the tongue is rough. Because of the cornified filiform papillae. So you probably know what they look like and how they feel like. They're used for grooming and they are kind of sharp. And cats, just like dogs, have different types of papillae. So we have filiform, fungiform, and velate papillae. We don't have the lentiform papillae on the cat, but those filiform sharp papillae, just like needles, are more than enough for a cat because they don't need to differentiate all that much, but they do need to groom themselves really well, so this does the job. So we are done today. It was quick and I hope not very painful. So this is the literature that I used for this video. Feel free to check it out and comment down below what kind of video you want to see next. Bye!